Hey guys, what is up? It's Flag44 here, bringing you another video. This time it's another Mariners monologue video talking about the early season success of the Mariners. So I've been out for a while in the whole making videos thing. I'm pretty much exclusively sports now, and exclusively sports because of the fact that I just really don't make videos very often because there's just not many many things I want to make videos of. It's pretty much just all sports. I've kind of moved on from the whole, like, I don't really play any video games anymore. I still kind of mess around with my phone with the whole jailbreak stuff, but you kind of got to be on top of it when a new jailbreak comes out with a new OS in order to be making videos there, because it just kind of goes pretty slow after that. So it's been pretty much sports and other stuff, which has been fun. I've been having a great time. Things are going really well for me, so that's been pretty great. Just YouTube hasn't been a big part of it. I don't know, it was kind of bound to happen at some point. I'll still be doing something to some degree. It's just kind of gonna be a little different, like the whole, I don't know, I was kind of on a run that really wasn't sustainable, and I don't know, I was kind of bound to move on and be interested in other stuff, and that's kind of where I'm at, and it's been good. Things are going really well. So now I'm going to be talking about the Mariners and what is up with them, and I'll probably be throwing in some other stuff I want to be talking about as well, but just because it's been a while and I have some stuff I could bring up, so we'll see where it goes and what happens. But yeah, so first thing, as you can see by the thumbnail, Robinson Cano, he is the man. Oh my gosh, he's been so fun to watch. Just everything he does is just so it's just so easy for him. He just looks like the complete player. You see him out there and it's like, dang, that guy is just built. He looks like a total stud out there, and he's just been fantastic. He can do everything. His on base percentage is 500 right now. He's a whiz in the infield. He just kind of brings everyone together. He just seems to be taking on like a interesting leadership role where it's like, he's not become like, everyone's like looking to him. He just kind of just helps everyone out, sort of thing. Like, he's there talking to a young guy like Abraham Almonte and stuff like that. It's just been really, really fun to watch, and I'm really excited that he's kind of had that opportunity to do well, and it's really translated to the whole team. I think he's kind of brought the whole team together and is kind of that missing piece they needed, and can help show other players how to do that and what they need to do to have success, which has been really great. So the Mariners are 4-2. They swept the Angels, which was really fun, and then they lost the series to the A's, but they played pretty well, and I think that they'll be pretty good. So they came out of the road trip 4-2, top of the AL West, coming back to play the Angels again, and then the A's on their first homestand, and I think that'll be good. Everyone will be pumped up for Cano. They'll put on a show for him. I think it goes Paxton, Elias, and then we'll see what happens after that. Walker looks like he's coming back. Iwakuma's getting closer. So yeah, everything's looking pretty great. The Mariners have like a lot of different options with their rotation, which was kind of in shambles for a while because of Walker and Iwakuma getting hurt. But now they've got Chris Young as like a long man. They've only really working with 4 starters right now, and then Erasmo Ramirez, and then James Paxton, Elias, Hernandez as the other guys. So that's been pretty great, and so hopefully once everyone's healthy, they'll be able to do some things, seeing who should be starting, and kind of have some versatility there, which will be great. Yeah, so in the whole thing with like the offense is playing well. I mean, Mariners look like a legit team, and you can start to see things where it's like, dang, they have some stuff there. They could maybe make a run if things go right. Like, I'm just looking through the batting averages and stats here. So Robinson Cano is up at the top, 391, just totally crushing it. 978 OPS, just destroying it. Willie Bloomquist is actually second with his 1 hit, and so that's kind of funny. Then Justin Smoak and Dustin Ackley both hitting 292. Smoak doing a little better. He has a little higher on base percentage and a much higher OPS. But those guys have both been great. Then Steven Romero, who I'm really looking forward to watching him play, because I think he can be like a Kyle Seager, underrated player where they just kind of hit all over, hitting 286. Almonte doing really well in center field, using his speed to hit 280. Brad Miller hitting 250, doing pretty well. Mike Zunino 238, and then it kind of starts going down to some of the slower starting guys like Corey Hart, 167, Saunders, 167, Morrison, 154, and then Kyle Seager struggling at the beginning here, hitting 111, but I'm sure he'll get it figured out because he's been a really good hitter these past 2 years. Probably one of the best, or the best position player for the Mariners the past 2 years, and the rest of these guys are, there's really no one else. And then to pitching, if I can scroll up here, click on pitching. Felix has been awesome. He gave up that 1 run last night to kind of lose the shutout, but he's been great. He looks like a freaking beast out there, totally on top of it. Ramirez today kind of struggled, but he looks like a solid guy. Just, right now he's kind of their second best, not really necessarily second best, but second in the rotation is what I'm trying to say. And I think he profiles better as like a fifth starter because he's really reliable and throws strikes and kind of is a good innings eater rather than a guy that needs to go out there and really limit the runs. He's a guy that can go out there and throw strikes, and he's kind of struggled, but I really like what he can do. And if they can get Iwakuma and Walker back here quickly, Paxton looks fantastic. He had 1 start, but just he has so much skill there, which really high ceiling you really like to see. So I think if they could get something going like Hernandez, Iwakuma, Paxton, Walker, and then have that 5th guy be someone like Ramirez or Chris Young or Elias or whoever kind of wins that spot, because Elias was really good. He gave up 1 run through, or 1 hit, and I think maybe 1 run as well. 1 hit through 5 innings, which was just amazing. But he walked a lot of guys, went to a 3-2 count, so he kind of upped his pitch count. And the 1 hit he gave up that led to the 1 run, I think, should have been a strike, and the umpire totally missed it. So I don't know. That's kind of what it is. I think that they have a lot. Like Elias looked pretty good for what I was expecting for a guy coming out of Double-A, who kind of unknown. No one was really talking about him. I just think they have a lot of good players. Like Brad Miller, I really like just the way he does things. With no gloves, he has some pop in his back, can hit a homer, can do some nice things on the base paths. I mean, and then Mike Zunino, just as their catcher, just seems to be figured out. Just you see him and he just looks like a legitimate catcher. That's not going to necessarily be a crazy good hitter, but can be a valuable hitter in the lineup. On top of working well to be a good defensive player and calling some good pitches and all that sort of stuff. And then their bullpen, they have versatility there, and they're getting Pryor back. They just dumped Hector Noesi, which was really exciting to see, to bring up Dominic Leone, I think, who looks like a guy that kind of be like a Danny Farquhar sort of guy, kind of like a smaller dude that has some heat and has some movement. And yeah, you kind of look at the whole thing and you're like, through 6 games, there's definitely some flukes, and the Mariners aren't going to be doing this well and aren't going to be on top of the AOS forever. But I mean, you look at the lineup and it's like, well, they're only going to get better. There's no reason why they can't do it. Obviously, some guys are going to struggle, but then other guys like Kyle Seager will get it going again and start destroying it. So, looking at the whole thing, looking at their schedule, they've got some potential and some hope, which is really fun. It's been fun watching them win. I was hoping they would have, won today and they could have been 5-1, but in the end, 4-2 is definitely something you'd take. They can keep winning on that clip, they'll be set, and by starting out strong, they kind of put themselves in advantage. I mean, they're in control of their own destiny, sort of thing already. They don't have to be coming from behind, which is cool to see. It looks like this pitching isn't going to load, but I can tell you that Felix has been awesome and really liking what he does. And I think Cano is just kind of bringing everyone together, showing that they can do this. And Felix finally has someone to lean on in Cano, and Cano is a big Spanish speaker, so he can communicate with all these different guys pretty well and kind of act as that manager on the field sort of thing, which I really like. And he just looks like, just everything he does just looks so easy to him. Okay, here the let's see, what is it? The pitching loaded here. Okay, so Felix has his 2 wins. Paxton has a 0 ERA. Felix with 19 strikeouts. Fernando Rodney with his sideways hat has his 1 save. Medina has 2 holds. So, yeah, Paxton was just amazing. 7 innings, 2 hits, 11 strikeouts. Or not 11 strikeouts, but 11 strikeouts per 9 innings. Wilhelmsen also has a 0 ERA, but he was kind of sketchy, wasn't as strong, but has been pretty decent. I mean, because everyone looks pretty good, and then Elias had let up that 1 run on 2 hits, and I don't know. At this point, there's not as much to say. All that I'm saying is that things are looking pretty good for the Mariners. We'll see where things go. They definitely have some guys in the minor leagues. I mean, like a guy like Nick Franklin deserves to be playing in the major leagues, deserves to be having that opportunity. So if things, a guy gets hurt, he's there to come up, or maybe they want to go after a pitcher, or they're missing, an outfielder or something, they can go ahead and trade Nick Franklin. I know Nick Franklin's been working in the outfield a bit, so if something were to happen, he could come up. I don't know, they're kind of in a weird spot where they've got a lot of different guys with potential, and they just have to pick the right ones to see if they click. Which is kind of a fun spot to be in, because there's no, going around, you've got Zunino catcher, Smoak first base, second base, you've got Cano, shortstop Miller, third Seager, then the outfield Almonte predominantly, and Logan Morrison has been playing right field, I think, and then your left fielder has been, Logan Morrison's been playing left field, your right fielder usually has been Dustin Ackley. And so all those guys, are not super old, and, are the guys that are kind of in a spot where we don't know about them aren't super old, and there's no, guy there where it's just like, okay, we know this guy's going to be hitting 200 and isn't going to do anything and has no upside. They all have, are pretty good prospects coming out, or are pretty good players and have the potential to do pretty well, which is something I always like, just, the chance to have success there. So it's going to be something fun to keep track of. Definitely a good way to start the season, because, I don't know, if they started poorly, it kind of would have been one of those things where it's like, okay, I'll check in on them, see how it's going. But because they started out well, they have the day off tomorrow, can come back and kind of, with their opening day, home opener, they can kind of see what happens, see if the city can get behind them, because I think, Seattle's ready to embrace a winning baseball team, especially with the Seahawks, and see if they can piggyback off that success. And have early success, get some early support, and see where that takes them. So it's been fun. I think the Mariners played better than, like, if they were playing a different team, they probably would have won. They lost the first game they lost. They kind of had it and then kind of blew it. And then you knew once it went to extra innings, when you're playing a team like the A's, you weren't going to win it. 'Cause extra innings really favors the home team, getting a chance to have that walk-off hit and all that sort of stuff. It kind of, one of those things where what you need to do each inning, whether you can just, you need to tie it up, or you can just score a run whenever, that sort of thing. So, and the A's are just a really well put together team, really well managed, really well, just a really solid team and a tough team to play. So by going in there and showing that they can compete with them, fortunately they lost 2 out of 3, but still looking pretty good to start the season. So yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. Hopefully it'll be good, and I'll be out this next week looking for colleges, but I'll be tuning in. It's kind of nice because, let's see, I think they're missing a game Monday, or they don't have a game Monday or Thursday, which works out pretty well because I'd like to watch them, and if they're going to be missing days, I'd rather they be missing days where I'm not going to be able to watch them anyway. So yeah, that's where we're at. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next time.